Hey y'all, Lulu Crafting with a Purpose here, and today I'm going to show you how quick it is to make a cute little table lamp with this rechargeable lamp that I got from Temu, and I'm told it's also available on Amazon. And this will fit nicely on the top of a bottle, and I am using today a wine bottle that I'll show you how I display that. But in the meantime, let's talk about the table lamp. It's 3 pieces. It is plastic, and it's a pretty solid plastic, so it really doesn't need to be painted unless there's something that you really want to do fancy to it. But today we're going to make it simple. Now, it comes, like I said, it comes with 3 pieces. The one piece is the lamp, and then it's an LED lamp, and it's touch button at the top to turn it on, and it goes to 3 different levels. And then it's the base that screws into it that fits on the top of the wine bottle, and then a charging cord. So it's pretty complete, and it's really nice mood lighting. So you have different types of light you can do with it, bright light all the way down to dimmer light. Now, I have prepped this one surface already, and I used painter's tape, and I have various sizes of painter's tape, and I choose on this one I chose to do a thin layer around the bottom just to put a border, and we're going to do that border in a moss green, which I love. Now, all we're going to do now is take some from the Plaster Paint Company. It's called New Surface. Now, this is my favorite thing now to prep plastic, glass, and metal with. It only takes 20 minutes to dry, which is really, really, really good. I like Dixie Belle Bonding Boss, but that you have to dry 24 hours. So all we're going to prep on this is that bottom layer that I'm going to paint, because again, I just want a little thin border down there. And so it's just going to take a little bit of the plaster paint, New Surface, which takes 20 minutes to dry naturally. I rarely will speed it up with the heat tool, but I might give it a little bit of a blast of heat for a second. But then we'll just let it dry on its own while we work on the rest of the surface. So just 1 coat of plaster of the New Surface is needed on this one. Sometimes it takes 2 coats, but on this particular, it's just going to be 1 coat all around the bottom, and then once that's completed, we'll be ready to decorate. And then once we're done decorating, we'll paint that with some Waverly Moss is the paint that I chose. Make sure you seal that lid really good for your next time. And then I am going to use Essential Stencils today. I'm going to be doing some rub-ons. You could paint it, you could do a napkin, you can do all kinds of things. But I was feeling like lavender, and I have these beautiful lavender from Essential Stencil. I got them a couple years ago, and I still have a few left. So we're going to decorate with that today, and I thought it would look cute in my kitchen. It would look cute out on a patio also, like a enclosed patio would look really cute. So real quick, I'm just drying the bottom a little bit because I need to hold it, and it was still a little wet, and I didn't want to rub it. See how the light comes on, and I just tap the top of it. You'll see me doing that several times during this video because I'm holding it from the top, and so I just keep tapping the thing. It's like clap on, clap off. No, tap on, tap off. Aren't those lavender stencils beautiful? So they're just the rub-on transfers. So I'm going to try to keep it at the theme more like for the kitchen area. So I'm just going to pick the ones that I want, and I just cut them out separately. And then once I pick the ones that I want, we'll go ahead and get them rubbed on, which is really simple. It took firm press to get those on. And there's one of them that's like a scroll. And so I thought to myself, why don't I put that one on there? And I had some other rub-on transfers that I had from, I think I got them on at the Dollar Tree. And so I have a whole pack of words. So I thought, why don't I rub some words on that? So I went ahead and found some words after. There's the scroll right there. And I found the words after, and it said, believe in you. And so I went ahead and put that over the scroll, which I was really excited about. And so there we go. We're just rubbing them on one at a time. And if you get any paint on there, there's the words. If you get any paint on there after you, because I didn't paint the lamp itself, I went ahead and just cleaned it off with rubbing alcohol. It's really nice and super easy. Again, it's a really firm plastic lamp. I was really impressed with the quality. Now, after you're done rubbing on all your stencils, putting your stencils on, take one of the pieces and burnish the stencils on, the transfers on, because you don't want them to peel off. So burnishing is just rubbing it in really good. And you can't, those essential stencils are so good, you can't even see where the line for them. They look almost like they were painted on. So once I get those all rubbed in, and after my live, I went ahead and put the words on. I had to alter them a little. It did say believe in yourself, but I thought just believe in you was fine, and that had enough room for it. So now I'm just taking my moss green paint, and I'm just going to go around the edge. And it did take 2 coats of paint. So I did get 1 coat, and I'm going to get some green on there. That's why I was telling you about the rubbing alcohol. Just took it right off. But I'm just doing the 2 coats of the moss green. I'm going to dry it, and then I'm also going to put a coat of, after that's dry, of polyacrylic around it. And then all we have to do then is just remove the painter's tape and stick it on a wine bottle. Whoop, that's bright. I told you it was bright. But yeah, so just make sure before you put polyacrylic on it, if you're going to do something like that, make sure that you do have it dry, because the polyacrylic will, rub some of the paint if you don't. So it just takes 2 coats of the Waverly Moss and 1 coat of polyacrylic. I did use a semi-gloss on that today, so you're not going to actually see me do the polyacrylic part because I had to wait for it to dry, so I did do that after the live. But I went ahead and removed the painter's tape, and then when I went to go put the polyacrylic on, I had to put the painter's tape back on it. So normally you'd want to do it in one step, but for the live that I did want everyone to see the difference before I went off the live, and then I just reapplied the painter's tape. It's super simple, and I have various sizes of painter's tape. You can get them pre-cut. What they generally do is take 1 roll of the larger painter's tape, and they slice it into a bunch of different sizes. And there you are. See all the different sizes. I have of course I have the normal 1 inch and 2 inch, but I just love being able to get those fine lines when I need them. So we're just going to find the beginning of the painter's tape and remove it. And it's really, 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 really cute. I was so excited. So right away, as soon as I got off the live, I called my neighbor and I said, hey, do you have any empty wine bottles? Because I don't drink, and I know that they like to have a glass of wine every night. And so she brought it right over to me. I used my heat tool to take the back label off. I left the front label on. You'll see that when I show you, because I thought it would look nice, especially if you had a neat label. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Thought it would be really neat to just have the, a label showing, especially if it's a real pretty label. And you could even decorate your lamp around the shade around the label. So anyway, just cleaning it off with alcohol where I got some fingerprints. And that is it. It is so cute. What do you think? What do you think of this? Isn't that adorable? And look at the light. It shines pretty bright. And I think if I'm going to ask her if she has a bottle with a shorter neck, because I think it would look better. But I took what I got. Took what I could get. Believe in you. I hope you like what you saw, and if you do, give me a comment, a thumbs up, and subscribe.